Hey, this is Sky. Welcome to my YouTube channel. It's Monday, Mafia Monday. Let's jump into our story. I got Mr. Snubby. Mr. Snubby's always ready. Now, before we get started, I am going to try to rush this book into Amazon so you guys can have access to it. I'll put all 3 books up there as I edit them. I have some help now she's trying to help me with the editing, and she's using some AI, chat GPT or whatever, to help go through it. I hope it doesn't change the story too much. But this will get it out there for you people so you want to buy it. Side note, I had some interest by a producer who wants to buy all 3 stories or something. They recommended that I stop reading them. So, if you want me to stop reading these stories on Mondays, you're going to have to, call me and make a deal. So let's get into it. We're going to finish off this chapter 5. Simon Castro has gotten made into the mafia, young Simon. He is at a party of the boss, Tommy Bogota, Tommy Guns. He was just walking around the pool along the property talking with his grandfather about the syndicate, the Los Angeles Syndicate, finding out what that is. It's been a pretty big secret, and only certain people know. And now him and his grandfather are going to head back up to the party. So let's just jump into where we left off. You can go watch last Monday's episode if you want to catch up, and I do these every Monday, at least until the producer pays me. We headed up to the patio. My grandfather walked over to Tommy and the East Coast out-of-town guys to join their conversation. I went back to my spot in the corner by myself and ate some snacks off a large catering platter on the table next to me. One of the bikini chicks dancing around the room was exceptionally beautiful, like an angel. I couldn't take my eyes off her. She was tall and in amazing shape, blonde, and what I considered to be perfect in every way. She was wearing a tiny bikini that barely covered her breasts or her ass. She glowed like there was a spotlight on her. I kept my sights locked on her as she moved gracefully around the room like a butterfly. She came dancing over to me in the corner, swinging her hips around in a circle. I became hypnotized immediately. She came dancing up to me so close that her boobs were touching me. She smiled and said with her golden voice, "Are you lost, big fella? Because you don't look like you belong here." I replied, still chewing some carrots from my little plate. I don't know. Will you marry me? I knew it was fate the second she came over to me. The first second I laid my eyes upon her was like a lightning bolt hit me. She burst into laughter at my proposal and said, "Marry you? No. You don't even know me, silly." I responded, "That don't matter. You have a boyfriend?" She quickly replied, "Yes." I said, "You're lying. Me and you are going to get married and have kids. Mark my word. I've never been so sure about anything in my entire life." Again, she laughed in my face. She said, "You're so cute, but that line won't work on me. I may be blonde, but I'm not stupid." I gave her a business card with my phone number on it and said, "I want to get to know you better. I can tell that you're the woman I'm supposed to spend my life with. I'm serious. Please, take the card." She smiled politely, refusing the card, and said, "You may have me confused with one of your dumb cheerleaders from USC. You played there, right?" I was surprised that she recognized me and replied, "You watch college football?" She said, "Yes. I saw one of your games years ago. I went to UCLA. I rooted against you." I replied, "Wow, what a small world. Hey, why did you say I don't belong here? She put her hand on my chest to feel my heart. She said, I can tell that you're not like the other men. You're too soft inside to be a gangster. I can see it in your eyes. I can feel it in your heart. Do you really like me? Then tell me why you're here at this party. I looked around to see if anyone was listening, and I replied, this is my family, and it's our Christmas party. See, there's my father, there's my uncle, and over there's my grandfather. I'm glad that you think I'm not like these men, because I'm not. You're a smart woman, you know that? Now, will you go out with me sometime, please? She leaned forward, pulled me down to her level by my collar, as she was much shorter, and gave me a quick, dry peck on my cheek. She turned and walked off, swinging her amazing hips, and continued to work the room with the other dancing bikini girls. My heart fluttered in excitement. An older made guy from Long Beach, who always wore his hair combed over to hide his bald spot, named Vinny the Wolf. He said, you're in love with that blonde, no? I recognize that look everywhere. Or anywhere, sorry. I had it that night that I met my wife. Nothing is more important in this entire world than love, Simon. Hey, I know all these broads. I'm a silent partner in the agency who handles them, and that is why they are here tonight. That one that you were talking to, that's Jennifer Wilson. She's a wannabe actress and an aspiring model, but who isn't in this town? But my friend, if you really like her, I can make it happen. I perked up and replied, really? Yes, hook me up. Please, make that shit happen. I want her. He laughed and then said, but Simon, I will warn you right now about her. She's a good girl. You don't know the rule of good girls, do you? Well, then a bit of advice from an old man. Don't mess around with the good girls. Stick with the bad ones. A good girl will always break your heart. She will always turn you into a sucker. A bad girl, well, that bitch will only break your wallet. I gave Vinny a nod and a smile and replied, okay, I get it. Thank you. Get her number to me tomorrow, first thing, will you please? Mark my words, I'm gonna marry her, good or bad, I don't care. I walked over to Frank, who was sitting on the other side of the patio with my father's crew, out of sight of Tommy guns. He was hiding in plain sight for his own safety, so drunk that he could barely stand. When I got over to the table, I put my arm on his shoulder and gave a nod to all the boys. Frank did his best to stand up with a little help from his underboss, Richie Mott. With wobbly feet, he hugged me and said, you're one of us now, Simon. We're all proud of you, especially your old man. Go over and give your father a big hug in front of everyone. It's just good optics. You can't avoid him all night. It'll make you look bad. Go do that favor, then come back here and smoke a joint with me. I know you got one. I gave a nod and walked over to my father to give him a big hug. I grabbed him and we embraced for cameras and friends to enjoy. My father was on cloud 9. He ate up the attention from all his friends and from the boss. I couldn't take my mind off that sexy dancer chick, Jennifer. I'd been hit by Cupid's painful arrow right through my chest for the first time in my life. I fell in love with somebody who's the most perfect person that I ever could have encountered. For the rest of the evening, I forgot all about illegal business or killing people or family politics. All I could think about was Jennifer. That's the end of chapter 5. Stay tuned the next Monday.